Hello, everyone. James Dobson here, your friendly neighborhood realtor. First off, I want to apologize for missing last month. I had a bit of an incident on my bicycle. Everything's fine now, but I just want to pick up where we left off. And to be fair, things are finally getting interesting now, so let's jump right in. Right off the bat, you can see that the market is sort of returning to what we would consider normal. And we have two metrics to measure this. One is months of inventory, which is basically we know roughly how many homes get sold in a month, and we know roughly how many homes are for sale. And so if we sell 10,000 homes a month and there's only 30,000 homes, that would mean 3 months of inventory. And so now you can see we're actually down closer to 1 month of inventory, meaning we're sort of redlining it, which is definitely favorable for sellers. On the other side, we have the sales to new listings ratio, which is exactly what it sounds like. How many homes sell relative to how many are available in terms of a percentage. So we're right around the 70% mark, which means of every 10 homes that get listed, 7 of them sell, which is pretty historically, that's pretty average for the Toronto real estate market. Obviously, when we're up at like 120%, meaning more homes are selling than are coming on the market, things get really heated. And same to the opposite. So you can see down at almost 35-40% here, 4 homes sell for every 10 added to the market. Again, very favorable for buyers. Sorry, I got caught up. Love that metric. All right, now what everyone wants to see, real estate average price for all property types across the GTA. So that's townhomes, condos, and detached properties. You can see that we are now definitely trending back up. I think part of this has to do with what a lot of people would consider a new normal, which is interest rates are obviously substantially higher than they were for a long time, but maybe they're not coming down, or at least they're not going to come down as quickly and as aggressively as people thought. So they're starting to wrap their head around, okay, if I do need to do a transaction, how am I going to make that work with interest rates where they are? Now, another thing to sort of just consider when we're looking at price here, is it likely that price will exceed its February peak with rates still elevated, right? I want to say it's unlikely. And so when we look at the overnight rate, which is right now at around 4%, I say it's likely that we probably come down to around 2% for the overnight rate, which for a consumer means we're targeting a mortgage rate of around 4% instead of the current 6%, right? Won't go too deep into that. But here again, this is essentially reflecting the same information that this one is. We're just saying that the price change month over month for the past few months has been negative, meaning that price was going down and down and down. But as of recently, price is now trending back up and we are in positive territory, meaning prices are climbing again, which is good news for all the homeowners out there. um, this is pretty crazy. It's not super applicable to most, but new homes are getting, and new construction, if you will, is getting absolutely decimated. We are having no volume in new construction whatsoever. A big part of that is because new construction is typically an investment vehicle. Just because when you're buying new construction, you don't need a mortgage when you buy it. You only have to get the mortgage when you're ready to move in, which can be years down the line, which means you put down your 5%, but that 5% controls the entire property price, which makes it can be an incredibly, it is an incredibly leveraged real estate investment. If you want to know more about that, let me know. I don't know. It's not for everyone, but because it's somewhat complicated, but it's always interesting for those who want to take their real estate investment a little bit further. That's not super relevant. This is interesting. Interest rates and how Canada compares to the US. It's very likely that Canada is going to follow the US's lead when it comes to interest rates. The reason for that is pretty simple. If the US raises rates more than we do, it's going to devalue our currency relative to theirs, which is something that obviously we don't want. So it's, and I mean, granted, it's a double-edged sword. If they continue raising rates, we could have some real problems on our hand from an economic standpoint. The higher rates go, the more it slows the economy, and it's already a very what's the word? Precarious situation. It's already a very precarious situation. Um, so I would just, to conclude on that, say a 0.25 hike for the Bank of Canada wouldn't be off the table, I don't think. More likely, I want to say we're going to hold, but it's not off the table. You can see here just how crazy the tightening cycle was for the past few months. You can see it's been the most aggressive rate hike in Canadian history by a lot. Population stuff again. Lastly, just touching on rent prices here. Rents continue to climb. If you locked in during COVID, you're smooth sailing as long as your landlord's not trying to extort you. Because rents keep grinding higher, and this next chart kind of shows just time of year when the best time to lock in a new rental is. You can see that rents climb basically the moment the year starts. Rent prices climb, they peak around August and September, and then they fall, and then that cycle sort of repeats just year over year. You can see 2017, 18, 19, we've had that same pattern again and again. And that's pretty much it. I could go into some more population growth stuff, but I don't want to do that today. I want to keep it short and stick to the important stuff. As always, if you have any questions or you just want to talk about something a little bit more because you're curious or interested, just let me know. I'm always up for a great conversation. Anyway, take it easy.